All right, welcome to the video. If you are tuning in, it's because you're interested in redoing the door. As you can see, we got a little bit of wear and tear. It looks like there's going to be some holes starting to form right in here eventually. But the real reason we're replacing this, the armrest, is because this panel right here started to crack, and the whole thing's supposed to look like that right there. As you can see on the other side, it's still intact. So, but unfortunately, it started to crack. I'm not really sure why. I thought it was a problem mainly on the Trackhawk's carbon fiber was doing that, but apparently the wood on the overlands cracked as well. This is almost 8 years old, and a lot of wear and tear, a lot of use, 200,000 miles, and it cracked away. So I just kind of finished it off. But if I'm going to replace this, I might as well replace this because I got to pop this whole panel off. So let's get into it, and I'm going to show you how to do it. First thing you got to do is remove this. This is inside this door right here. And what happens is this is in there, and that little tab you see right at the corner there, that tab is down there on the lower left. You want to pop that out with a little pick tool. It looks something like this. Something that looks like that'll do it. You want to get in there, and it's gonna be pretty level, and you're just gonna like basically pop it out toward you. There is not a lot of force at all. If you're feeling too much force, you're too far back. It's a really shallow door piece. So you can see that's all you got to do is go back behind that to get to that tab. That lower left tab is the one you want. And you can see how thin it is. You just got to get behind that and pull out, and the thing just comes popping out. All right, and then we got to get to that Phillips head right there, 7 mil in there. Use your pick to open this little tab, and you're good to go. So let's get that done, and we'll check back. Okay, one final step before we pry off the panel. We got to remove this and then unplug it. The way to get in there, be very gentle. I'm replacing this, so if I poke a hole in it or whatever, it's not the worst thing, but you don't want to ruin it if you don't have to, because you potentially could just sell this part online, which I recommend doing. These are very expensive. So let's get this out, unplug it, and then we should be clear to take the rest of the panel off. So once you get it pried out of there, which is really easy to do, this is what you're going to see right here. So you want to unplug these. Usually it's just a tab. Yeah, there's the tabs right there. So undo those, and then you can pull it out. It's kind of hard to do with one hand. But let me get that undone. I'll show you how it's done. Okay, so when you're going to do this tab, you just want to take your thumbnail or something and just slide it out. See there? You're just sliding it out. So I can push it back in, just pull it out. Then this should come out. I can't do it, like I said, I can't do that with one hand, but we'll get that thing out of there and you should be good to go. All right, now that that's out of the way, we can pry off this door. Just make sure that when you're very gentle with this, make sure that after you slide that red piece out, you're pressing it in to unplug it. That's a very important part, because if you miss that, you can break it. Do not break this. So that's the easy way. So all right, let's get a proper tool. We're gonna trim this away, pull this thing off. All right, so now that we got the little tab off, we did a few steps ahead just to kind of get it going. But once you get this off with that tool, as I show you, get that out, you want to undo that 10 mil right there. The screw, you can remove it or not. I did. I'm going to leave it off just because I want to inspect it, but that'll just hold this plastic in there. That is what really gets the door panel to release. So we'll get that 10 mil off, and then we'll move forward. Okay, as you can see, we have the door panel off. Here are my tips for that. Get yourself something like this, real rigid piece of plastic with some fork in it or something like that. And you want to come to the edge of the door. We'll go over here to let's go over here to the passenger side, and I'll show you when it's mounted what it looks like. But you want to start on the lower corner of the outside of the door, and then get in between the paint and there, and you're gonna pry. You're gonna get it all the way in there and pry out until you hear a loud pop. And once you hear that loud pop, don't be scared. You're not breaking anything. Let me show you what you're popping out of the place here. Are these plastic rivets here, and they make a loud noise when they come out. So there's a whole bunch of them. You can see them right here. That's what those are. And so you got to pop those out. Use a plastic tool. Do not use something rough. Remember, once you get the door off, you got some plugs and stuff. You got some things to undo. This is the door plug that we undid earlier, but this one you got to undo to move it all the way out. So do not overstretch this. This goes back into this piece here. Make sure you put that back in there before it goes right in between here. And then that's it. So let's take the pieces apart and we'll get that door trim done. We're also gonna clean all this out. So might as well do it. All that change came out of the door. So that's weird. I'm not sure where that's coming from or how that even happened, but yeah, it all fell out. So we struck it rich. All right, let's get to it. So my tip, once you have it out, stand it up like that on the door, and you want to take your new part. This is what we need to put on there, and put it kind of in place of where it's going to go, and then you'll see what screws you need to undo. You'll see the screw holes right there. The one on the right there is the actual hole. But you can see the piece there, and then the screw we need to undo so you can match it up. So you see there, that's my tip. That's how you find which ones you're going to do. See, there's another one right above it, and then you can see where everything goes. So that'll help you understand which ones you got to undo. Let's get that done and get that replaced. Okay, earlier on in the video, I put an annotation at the bottom to see more about this later. So at the door handle, to give you reference, when you know, this is on, and as you're undoing the screws, this is on the other side. Make sure that under the door handle, that this screw that's right there, this one, it's on the right side of where the door handle is. It looks about like that when it's on there. So when you get to this one right here, you have to remove the screw that's on the back on the other side. On most videos of this trim removal, they say don't remove that screw, just the 10 mil. You have to remove that screw to get this door handle piece out of the way, and then that way you can get to that Torx right there. Otherwise you can't. So once you undo it all, you're good. Just make sure you undo all of them. Take the new part and count how many holes you see for screws, and just double check it, and then match them up. Make sure you get them all before you remove it, and you should be good to go. So we've done that. Now let's clean up the other side and put the new part back on. So take some glass cleaner and make sure you clean all this while you have this apart. Do a good job. Just remember, this is weather stripping here. You don't want to hurt that. So use something light and get in there while you can, while this is all out. I can feel all kinds of dirt in there. So make sure you get in there good. Clean all that out. You can start seeing it popping out, all that dirt. So get in there, fix it up, make it clean while you got all this apart. And I'm gonna put that other piece on, and we'll do the armrest, and we should be done. All right, we have replaced all the wood for the wood trim there, and now we gotta do the leather armrest. And as you can see, same thing, match up all the screw holes. Just find them all. They're on the back panel here. You can see a series of them in there. So just make sure you get them all, count the ones on the new one, and look for them on the old one, and you should be good to go. Pretty easy, actually. All right, as you can see, we are done. We just got to plug this stuff back in. We'll show one more shot, but pretty easy. Just be very careful, go very slow, and you'll be okay. Just remember, it's all Torx 20 on the back. You do have to take that screw out right there on the left side, right here. You have to take that out in order to get to the back of the one that's right here. There's one back here, and you can't, or it's actually, I'm sorry, it's right here. Well, the cable for this goes right by here, and you can't get to it without taking that out. So be very careful. There's some tabs back there. I got one that's probably cracked, and it didn't affect it. The door is going to be fine, but I might have to replace that down the line. I'll probably look for the part now. I think it's part of this housing, so I'm going to have to buy that housing. No big deal there. That'll be easy fix down the line. So anyway, that's it. Let's show you the finished product in a few minutes. Let me plug all this back in and get it going, and then we'll check it out. All right, as you can see, we are done. We just got to plug this stuff back in. We'll show one more shot, but pretty easy. Just be very careful, go very slow, and you'll be okay. Just remember, it's all Torx 20 on the back. You do have to take that screw out right there on the left side, right here. You have to take that out in order to get to the back of the one that's right here. There's one back here, and you can't, or it's actually, I'm sorry, it's right here. Well, the cable for this goes right by here, and you can't get to it without taking that out. So be very careful. There's some tabs back there. I got one that's probably cracked, and it didn't affect it. The door is going to be fine, but I might have to replace that down the line. I'll probably look for the part now. I think it's part of this housing, so I'm going to have to buy that housing. No big deal there. That'll be easy fix down the line. So anyway, that's it. Let's show you the finished product in a few minutes. Let me plug all this back in and get it going, and then we'll check it out.